Roadmap to Victory is sponsored by the R&R family of companies.
Welcome back to Nittany Game Week. It feels like they are due. It's been 8 long years since the blocked field goal in Beaver Stadium. The team is certainly capable. The fans will do their part. Well, and the students, they're primed to storm the field. Coach Bradley, Coach Paterno, before anyone even dares talk about a potential celebration, we have to dissect the execution it will take to beat the number 4 team in the country.
And I think this is, as you said, Todd, it feels like they're due, and there may be a couple things, advantages, but this is a true heavyweight fight. This is strength against strength. Ohio State's offense, one of the best in the country. Penn State's defense, one of the best in the country. But let's take a look at some of the people to watch on that offense. You got some big-time players at wideout. You got some big-time players at running back. Don't ignore the tight end. But the left side of the offensive line for Ohio State in pass protection is going to be something to keep an eye on as we go. And let's talk about that. Their offensive tackle got hurt against Oregon. He's out for the year. His backup came in against Nebraska, struggled. They moved the guard out, but we'll see whether they move the other tackle over. But for these guys, when you play them, they've got a patient running back with speed. They've got safeties who can, safety's gonna have to make tackle. Their wideouts blocked. But watch that left side, because here, they're all healthy, and he makes a great block against Wisconsin. Patience.
Don't be surprised if they might flip-flop those guys, too.
Yeah, I think you may get your 2 best tackles on the field, however they are. Henderson did not play against Penn State last year. Watch for his impact on the game. Now, let's talk about the wideouts. Everybody talks about Ohio State's wideouts. So number 1, you got to look at and say, can we cover number 4 or number 2 one-on-one? Can you do that? Nebraska is putting safety help on both guys there. So can you stop the run game with your front 5 or 6 guys? That's the next question. And can you get to the quarterback with the blitz? And can you cover number 17? But what's the most important factor there, Tom?
You just asked a lot of questions.
Right, but you know which one's the most important. Can you get to the quarterback?
Can you get to the quarterback with 4?
Yeah, because if he can get there and set up and throw the ball down the field, it's going to be a long day.
Exactly. You need to be able to get the pressure with that front 4 and make him think a little bit where get those happy feet going, right?
Yep. And here Nebraska doesn't get there, and they get one-on-one outside with 17. Now let's talk about the play-action pass stuff. A lot of play-action pass stuff off that run game. Here you're going to see they fake the run. That's number 1. Do the linebackers play the run? The quarterback's looking at that. Now, you got a wideout screen over here. They're going to fake the wideout screen. Do they play the wideout screen? Yes. Now he's going to find the tight end. Tom, the tight end in this game for Ohio State he's got a lot of catches the last couple weeks.
It's one of the things that we've been talking about for a while. It's maybe a lot of tight end catches this week by both teams.
Yeah, absolutely. And Oregon made some adjustments to get to those guys outside, and it opened the tight end up. In the last 3 weeks, he's been hurt, but he's had 8 catches the last 3 games. Now let's talk about the other side, another heavyweight fight. Look at the numbers for the Ohio State defense. Look at the numbers for the Penn State offense. You're talking about 2 of the best units of their kind in the country. And specifically in the Ohio State defense, let's take a look at some people that you want to take a look at. There are 3 safeties to watch. Ransom has had some injury issues, but they're big safeties, 205, 235, 210. Burke, number 10, is their best corner. Simon, the linebacker, watch him, number 0, really good cover guy with that Nick Singleton in the pass game stuff. But let's talk about that 3 safety defense, Tom. That really gives you flexibility to blitz, doesn't it?
It sure does. And let's just talk about the one thing you brought up is how big some of those safeties are. They're not afraid to come down here and fight it out inside the box.
No question. Here, they invite you to run the ball this way. They bring him off the edge in the corner stunt, which you used to love, and slant that way, and they force the cutback, and there they are to make the tackle. Does a really nice job, that corner off the blitz. They can tackle. Now, let's talk about the key. With those 3 safeties involved inside, can you beat their corners one-on-one time? You know that's the most important thing. And I was at the Oregon game live, saw the speed that Oregon had at wideout. This play started to change the game for the Ohio State Buckeye defense because he got by him on a double move.
That's where this game's going to be played. There's going to be a lot of one-on-one outside, and if they can make it happen, if Penn State can beat them out there,
changes the whole game.
Changes the whole game.
No question. Now, to get to the quarterback, they like the blitz. Here, Oregon gets to an empty set. They show six blitzers. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys to block 6. But watch what happens, Tom. You used to like to do this. They drop 2 guys out. And now, because they've identified the protection that way, this guy's going to end up free, even though there's only 4 blitzers coming, Tom.
Yes, and we used this stunt a lot back in the day.
Yeah, and here, that guy thinks he knows he's got to throw hot. When they drop the guys underneath, they take away the hot throws, and that's the key to try and make him hesitate. If they can get to the quarterback, that'll be a long day for Penn State. Now, let's talk about specifically about getting to the quarterback. Number 44, JT Tuimoloau, has played very well against Penn State the last 2 years. 7 tackles, 3 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, 1 fumble recovery, 2 interceptions, one of which was a pick 6, 2 pass deflections, and 4 tackles for losses. Literally a one-man wrecking crew. When he announced he was coming back, Larry Johnson, who we coached with, coaches the D-line at Ohio State, I texted him and said, I think 44 is ready to go to the pros. Please send him. And Larry said he's not going anywhere.
Thanks, coaches. There's a ton of pressure on Ohio State coach Ryan Day. The Buckeyes have a rough schedule and no room for error. A second loss in the Big Ten likely keeps them out of the conference championship. Coach Day understands the challenge in front of his team.
Just like the Oregon game was, this game's been, circled on our schedule. We know what's at stake here. So we're going to have a great week of practice, great energy in practice, and we're going to go into that environment and go, finish the way that, we didn't have an opportunity or we didn't do 2 weeks ago. And so now we have another opportunity to go do that in this game. So now we got to go finish and win the game in the 4th quarter.
His quarterback is properly motivated. Will Howard played his high school ball at Downingtown West in the Philly suburbs. He said he grew up a Penn State fan, always wanted to be a Nittany Lion, and at it, I guess I wasn't good enough. We'll find out. There's been a long line of successful head coaches in Columbus. Our Impact interview guest is certainly one of them. Jim Tressel joins us next as we talk about the high expectations when you lead the Buckeyes and the rivalry between the blue and white versus the scarlet and gray. More Nittany Game Week coming up.